Welcome to the Emerging Professional series at the Coffee Conversation Show powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is CTO, founder, and AI futurist. The journey of Lalit Mohan Chandra Bhatt. From building cutting edge IoT platforms to shaping AI driven strategies as CTO of Entytle and founder of Hexatic, Lalit had consistently stayed ahead of the curve. Known for his belief that randomness is God, hallucination is AI. He blends pragmatism with vision in a way that inspires teams, startups, and leaders alike. Today, we go beyond the resume to explore his professional journey, leadership philosophies, and the person behind the technology. And we also come to know who Lalit is as a person, a technologist, entrepreneur, thought leader, career spans over 2 decades of innovation and leadership, and Lalit as a person. So, welcome, Lalit, to today's coffee conversation.
Thanks, Amit.
So, let me explain you. There will be 3 rounds: professional, personal, and a rapid fire round where you'll be
Okay,
in the hot seat. You have to be witty, fun, and quick. And as you're into
sure.
AI, there is an AI in the corporate workplace gift written by me, autographed,
Okay,
but the first win it.
okay.
Sure. Let's begin. Friend of
Sure.
mine, Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So, my first question, Lalit, how has the journey shaped up and what were the key defining moments you had?
So, thanks for the introduction, Amir. And whenever you hear that, you think whether it's the same person you're talking, someone is talking about me or not. But yeah, I think it's been an interesting journey till now. Just like have been a lot of changes throughout the career as well. And interestingly, because my dad was in paramilitary kind of thing, so I lived all across India. So from Mizoram to Assam to Bihar, and that's where I think is that I think it has shaped in a way that you just take the things the way they come, rather than trying to shape them up or trying to put them in a path kind of thing. So yeah, so far so good. It's interesting. There's an interesting kind of work, interesting kind of career. I don't see that like it has been a very what you call like following a book kind of thing, but it has been very rewarding and very satisfying.
Wow. So, let's dive deep into conversation. Lalit, many leaders talk about culture in technology teams. How do you
Hmm.
create a culture of curiosity and ownership?
Okay. Yeah, very interesting question. Actually, one thing what I've realized throughout his journey is that I think till we don't connect with the outcomes that we want to achieve, a lot of things don't line up behind. So when I
Yeah.
say, and I think culture, leadership, technology, everything is actually a means to certain end. So to connect your team also to that outcome, what exactly is the end goal of that one? I think that helps us in shaping. It basically helps in giving a team a kind of vision through around which they can rally around. Of course, there are other importance of like taking care of smaller things, processes, structures, everything falls in place. But at the end, the team needs to driven with an end with a goal in mind. So I think that's where what I feel is that that's where the team is more vibrant. Basically, they are more interacting, they are reacting, they are responding, and rather than just following.
Wow. So, having been part of both global corporations and entrepreneurial setups, what do you see are the pros and cons of each?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think global companies, in fact, even right now, like as part of Entitle, we work with a lot of this big industrial equipment manufacturers. And as part of these startups, right now, we're working with like at least two startups very closely. One is into this whole agri-tech domain, and another is into home automation, a lot of IoT hardware and all those things. And like at one end, you see a lot of valley kind of culture. At the other end, you see like this big structured bureaucratic culture. So I'll just give you a small anecdote that how things work. So if you're working with this big structured corporation, any next meeting is like next quarter kind of thing. And when you're working with Valley kind of companies, any next meeting is like, if you're talking in the morning, let's meet in the evening kind of thing. So there is a change in the pace and the but again, I would not say that one is better than other. Everyone has a reason for going that way. These big corporations are sometimes like 150 years old. So there is a reason that move in. Otherwise, everything will just fall apart if things are not done in certain way, kind of thing. But yes, there is like a very different time scales and different structural aspects of the thing in which both of these things work.
Wow. So let's come to you. Thank you for leading me to my questions. Let's come to Entitle first.
Okay.
Entitle focuses on install base intelligence. Could you
Yeah.
break that down for us in simple terms and why it's a game changer for industrial OEMs?
Yeah, nice question. So I'll just give an example like when you buy a car, basically, you pay certain money to the car company. But if you really see the economics, the car companies actually make a lot more money throughout the life cycle of that car. And in fact, a lot of money is made by many other parties in terms of insurance, parts, replacement services, whatnot, and even fuel in some cases. So actually, this money you would spend would be multiple of X to the car, to the money that you would have. So the same notion goes in the industrial equipment space. When these companies sell these equipments, they are usually we deal with companies whose equipment would be at least 5+ years, preferably
Mhm.
10+year. But we have seen companies who have equipment like 50+ year in the ground and they
Mhm.
are still operating. But the thing is that we want to emphasize on is that there is a lot of money to be made in this recurring revenues in terms of service contracts, upgrades, retrofits, and even new equipment selling. And that's where the whole this notion comes into picture. So what we do is that we basically take all their data, and sometimes we have dealt with data 30 years old, handwritten PDFs, brought them together, created a picture for them so that they can reach to their customer and more revenue opportunities occur.
Wow.
So hopefully that gives an idea.
Yeah, thank you for that, Apna,
Yeah,
uh, explaining to us. Now let's go to your next venture, uh, Hexatic. Now before that, I want
yeah.
to know the story behind the naming of your uh, Entitle. What's the
Okay.
story behind this company's name?
Okay,
Entitle.
so Entytle is actually founded by Vivek Joshi, who is IIT Bombay graduate, and he's based in US right now. So he used to run this big aftermarket divisions of GE at one point of time. So they used to have a concept called entitlement because when you have sold an equipment, then you are entitled for all the recurring revenue. So from there, this term came up, and I've been working with him for last almost 10 years now with this venture. So it's been an
Wow.
interesting journey so far.
Interesting story, Apna. So every company's name, I asked
Yeah,
in my conversation, what
yeah.
the story behind, and some people have not thought about and they start reflecting. And I've told them, "Okay, put your story on
Okay, okay.
your social media, your website, so that will help your clients
Correct,
to connect
correct.
with
No,
you."
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. But don't
So
ask
let's
me
come
about
to
Hexatic, how it will.
your the startup,
Okay, so
Hexatic.
Hexatic,
I'm dividing
honest.
into two parts.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. What's the story behind the naming of Hexatic? My first question. Uh, you're building GCCs for startups.
yeah.
What gap did you see in the market that made you create this venture? And for your information, I've done a conversation with Abhishek Jain. He's a GCC expert and
Okay,
also he's from Pune.
okay. Oh, great.
And
Nice.
I want to plan a panel discussion on ये because I've been seeing a lot of GCC activity
Yeah,
happening by MNC companies being they taking interest for the
yeah,
Indian
yeah,
market.
yeah.
So I'll connect
So
with you later and plan
perfect.
a panel discussion
Yeah,
for GCC, but it has to be very interesting. What do you say? Thought provoking, and not only for the speakers, the panelists, but
okay.
for the viewers out there.
Sure,
And
sure.
I'll be needing speakers from your side to plan this
Okay,
because we do panel discussion also. We
sounds
have
good.
data
And we will do.
privacy, cyber safety, ESG. We have done apna on Father's Day also. We were the first one to initiate conversation on Father's Day.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. And
Father's
we
Day तो
will.
हुआ ही, Women's Day भी किए, but Father's Day पे, see I can see the smile on you कि वो
Okay.
ये everyone neglects father. But now conversation started. Abhi 3-4 years में there have been activities Father's Day के time पे.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There is अपना social media and everything. But we are the first one pioneers to start this panel discussion.
Oh,
And
okay, nice.
yeah, and for your information, I got four coffee speakers as panelists on different age groups.
Mm-hmm.
3 years का father, 7 years अपना teenager, and father whose children have started working.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'll just repeat the question again. Story of your, yeah, Hexatic,
Example.
that's building GC startup. What gap did you see in the market that made you create this venture?
Yeah. So, okay, first on the name part, you might laugh. We had much better names, but ROC of India. So finally, we have to get a name. So that's the story of Exciting, right? So
Oh,
yeah. So okay, I think that's it. What it is. So now we are putting what you call more soul inside that one with our work, and then that's probably where we will create a story in the future. And coming to the GCC for startups, basically, so my background generally has been so earlier I had worked in the bigger corporations, but then around 2010, 2007, I did one of my again startup. It did not work out so well for 3 years. I worked at that time actually a lot into the rural side of India with digital transformation initiative with open source kind of thing. Did not work out, but that's fine. When then I moved more into this startup ecosystem, and that's where, and I think at every place it was like the role would of course like start with a little bit of technology, but very soon graduated into building teams and those kind of stuff. And that's where I started seeing that, yes, I think especially with the startups and all, with bigger companies they have muscle and also it's pretty easy if they want to move in that direction. But with startups we have seen this struggle basically happening in terms of, because when you bring it here, the brand is not big, so you need to attract the right talent, take them together, and usually many times the technology is not trivial. It's not like building some very simple applications kind of thing. So for example, right now we are working with at least two like agri-tech. Yeah, there's a Farmex, which is an agri-tech startup in US, and they have some very innovative hardware as well. Of course, it's a whole farm platform kind of thing, but they have like the soil moisture sensor and IoT controllers and all those things. And in fact, we are also helping them out to find a foot in India in terms of taking this technology to farmers. We have actually a couple of POCs running in Nashik and other areas right now, which are giving very good results actually. But and
wow.
then I think the other one is the neuro where we are working with this home automation, but we are now pivoting a lot on the senior care side of the things. So, like the fall and all those things, can we detect very fast and notify? I think, especially in the, I would call the newer world, we see a lot of parents or a lot of older people living alone actually. And
Yes,
these
yes.
things are
Correct.
becoming, in fact, just have seen a couple of incidents where they fell down and there was not so much immediate action and that resulted in more collateral damages. So these are the things. But yeah, coming back to your question, that's where what I'm seeing is that it's just like our interest is more into startups which are like not like I would say pure application building SaaS kind of thing, but really into the deep tech kind of thing, and more interest into those where we find those technologies are valid in Indian context as well, so that we
Wow.
would even help them in getting a hold on the ground. So as part of
Interesting.
Hexatic, we have built very strong, I would say. So we have customer base around that also, which is more into like IT infra, cyber security, compliance, and all those things as well. But we build those basic pillars very strong so that we can build now teams over that one, which are very functioning team, and admin and HR as usual in GCC taken care of kind of thing. So that focus more on GTM, go to market, getting the solution in the market, getting the traction. So that's the whole idea with which we are sort of pitching this whole model.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Lalit, you have worked in IoT, AI, cloud, automation. Which
Yeah.
of these do you think will define the next decade of enterprise tech?
I think it would probably a mix of everything, but where I see a lot of things would be going is that the tech would become more and more transparent to the user. And on the behind, everything would be there. You will have a lot of AI happening, no doubt. A lot of this automation. Automation is becoming the key. That's what I'm seeing. And especially in last 2 3 years, I would say that I think during COVID era, we saw a surge in terms of adoption of a lot of digital tools. But then suddenly we are seeing a lot of fatigue with digital tools with any organization kind of thing. So, and where the market is going, what I'm seeing is that it's going more towards the technology, let it be transparent. Tell me what I need to do, and I'll follow that one kind of paradigm. So, yes, I see a play, IoT, AI, everything, lot of data, everything would be happening. But I think the key would be that how transparently we can make it available to the end user. And that's where I think those companies would probably make more difference in their balance sheet as well.
Wow. So, Lalit, randomness is God, hallucination is AI. What inspired this perspective and how does it influence your decision making?
That's actually, I'm tending to now write it. Randomness is God, hallucination is human. So I think it's a little bit of philosophical thing, but I always believe that, okay, let me put it in this way. I do believe in God, but I think I still struggle to understand religion, to be honest. And that's where what I think is that, like, all this notion of religion, nation, caste, and everything, I think it's all a hallucinated mind of human who has created it, and the whole framework and structures. And where I feel is that I think probably when we talk about God, it's like, okay, maybe in simple term, I was just thinking about one day, it's like that. If you talk about this number pi, I think that's a God. It's found everywhere. It's irrational in a way that you can't still figure a pattern out of it. It is very random, but still it's pervasive kind of thing. So I don't know, I answer your question, but these are like very random thoughts around these things.
Yes, I can
It's
understand.
good discussion,
Um,
which can go for hours.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, how has your leadership style evolved over the years, Lalit?
Yeah, so I think I would say that from the leadership perspective, yeah, of course, like your vision and everything is as well important. So I see it in basically two buckets. One we called as like the leadership approach, which is more about vision, motivation, and all those aspects that come into picture. But I think merged with that also is very important that you should also carry a strong managerial approach, which is in terms of making sure the processes, structures, communications, all those things are also well in place. Then only you are able to execute the vision. So I try to make sure that both these things get balanced. You have a very strong structure and processes to take the things through. And of course, like you'll have to make sure that people are still aware about what the outcomes, where the end is, the whole thing is taking towards.
Wow. So, Lalit, how do you mentor young tech startup founders?
So I think the way the world is going, what I would say that you'll have to start understanding things. You cannot say that I am a tech guy, I don't care about business, or I am a business guy, I don't care about tech. I think world is moving out of that one. You just have to be in a learning mode at every point of time. In fact, I would say that if you're a tech founder, if you're a techie guy, make sure you understand business, why you are doing that tech, what is the end goal of that one. If you're a business guy, understand, because many times the kind of tech you will be employing would define the outcomes of your business. So, because beyond the point in your in a career, I think it's more about what perspectives you carry rather than what skill you have got,
Wow.
because that what drives the things. So yeah, so I think that's where what I'm saying is that I think because earlier, if you see 20, 30 years before in mechanical industry, once you understand the mechanical, it can take you through your 30, 40 years of career. This is no longer the case. So just have to be ready, whatever comes the way, play with it.
Wow. So, my last question for a professional journey round, uh, if you have to give one piece of advice to emerging professionals who want to move into CTO level leadership, what would it be?
Yeah, so I would say that I think again, like, need to understand the technology. And in fact, when I talk about technology, it's not about the code, the languages, and all those things, but it's about the system thinking you need to evolve, and system thinking in context of the business outcomes that you are trying to achieve. Once you have that kind of notion, I think the depth becomes much better in terms of dealing with what you are building, basically.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and understand
Sure.
Lalit as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
Yeah, so this I told you in the beginning, like my dad was in CRPF, so I have lived like all across from Mizoram to even I've done my schooling in Mizoram as well. So when someone says that which where you belong to, it becomes a very difficult question to me, to be honest, because I have been all over the places. But yes, like my dad was there. My mom, I have a younger brother who is based in Gurgaon, works in another company in my family, like my wife, and there are two kids. I have a daughter and a son. So daughter is doing her BCom honors, and the son is in ninth standard. So yeah, that's
Wow. So Lalit, as you have lived in different cities, which city is your favorite and why?
if today, if you ask me, I will say Pune. I don't want to. But yes, generally what I've seen is that every city has a different vibe. I had lived in Delhi also a lot. And when I came to Pune, I really liked it. It was slow, yet you find everything kind of thing. So yeah, so I think every city is a vibe rather than trying to figure out which is better. And honestly, that enjoy that city, their vibe, and that is a much more fulfilling experience in terms of like living through that.
Wow. So Lalit, what's the one activity that completely helps you disconnect from work pressures?
Yeah, if you really ask me, I would say that sleeping is one of the best thing. But then you'll say, but yeah, I do like to like read books which are very very different topics, kind of thing, like where you completely get into a different context, different domain. So that is usually I love to do a lot. And yeah, and I think just like going some drive and all those things with the family. So that's
Wow. So which book, movie, or series has deeply influenced your personal philosophy?
I think there are many actually, but some of the interesting books is like, I don't know if you have read the Jen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's a very interesting book. It's a little bit philosophical, but it's about the human, how we respond to life in day-to-day ways, kind of thing. In movies, there's another interesting movie which I usually like is that 12 Angry Men Ek Ruka Hua Faisla. I don't know. This is like how the narrative can be changed
Mhm.
easily. So yeah. So these are like some of the interesting things. But otherwise, I do like a lot of South Indian dub movies as well. This is like so funny to see them or
Yeah,
Govinda
yeah, because
style movies.
Netflix, you're able to see different
Yes,
cultures, different region movies.
correct,
Uh,
correct, correct.
it's
And with
pandemic.
South Indian dub movies, I think what happens is when they dub it in Hindi, they have to speak little faster. So that that creates another sense of excitement in that movie.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lalit, who do you turn to outside of work for perspective and grounding?
And normally, it's like looking into books and those things. That's where I try to go more towards trying to understand the different perspective. And I think with today's digital world, there is no lack of outside. It's just about connecting to the right set of narratives or right set of that thing. And just the good thing is that we can easily see both side of the things if we want to. uh, and that gives a good perspective about a certain situation, philosophy, or certain take on the things.
Wow. So, what's a family tradition or routine you never miss?
I think usually this like the Diwali and all are usually we try to be together. So that is one interesting thing we try to do. So yeah, I guess, and in India, I think there is no lack of festivals. So you get
Oh. So, outside of tech, what's your biggest passion or hobby?
Outside of tech use, usually I would say that reading books is one of the things that I try to do a lot. And then recently, I would say that like working with kids, especially on those basic sciences and maths, which we have long back, I really started loving doing that one. So yeah, but basically trying to spend time with kids in the way that they are progressing in their life. Try to do that as much as possible because otherwise you always know how time flies.
Yes. So if your friends had to describe you in three words, what would it be?
That's an interesting question. I would say that like I think let me put it in a perspective is like what I feel is there are two kind of characters. One we call it deterministic and another is probabilistic. And with probabilistic mindset, I have tend to become more probabilistic, I think, but with also it comes with a feeling that you don't take decisions very fast kind of thing. And I think that's what one of the frustration even my wife has that why don't you take decision? I said that why to take decision if you don't have to take the decision? Let the data come in, let's just collect the data. So yeah, probably I think that's what
Wow. So my last two questions are reflective ones. What legacy would you like to leave behind?
so I would say I think it would be more about like what you call is seeing things in the right perspective, the right way. I think that is very important, especially in the current world where everyone thinks I am right kind of thing. uh, Taking it beyond in terms of that everyone is right in their own way. We need to basically I'm sure you would also be seeing how the world is going right now. Everyone thinks they are the god in the world kind of thing. So probably if we can change that, it will be good for everyone because it's for everyone. The world is for everyone.
Wow. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Lalit in one line.
Describe it in one line. Uh, Maybe I'll go back to the same one. I'll say that like attached but
No,
detached.
how you, that was from your friend's viewpoint. Now this is from
Okay.
your viewpoint.
Uh, okay. I think probably I would say that very easygoing in some ways.
Wow.
Take things the way they are coming.
Beautiful. So let's put you in the hot seat, the rapid fire
Okay,
round.
sure.
Startup hustle or corporate stability?
Startup hustle.
Early bird or night owl?
And it's in the middle actually, but I would still go with early bird in today's
AI or IoT? Which excites you more right now?
AI.
Your favorite comfort food?
My favorite comfort food is pitla bhakri.
Wow. Mine also. Randomness or logic?
Randomness.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Best piece of advice received?
Most of the advice I've received is, I think, take things the way they come.
Your dream travel place?
Dream travel places. Probably I'm going back to my village. I've not gone very often, which is Uttarakhand, where your Nepal, China, and India meets. So I really want to go and spend more time there.
Wow. So my last one. Tea or coffee to recharge?
Tea. Sorry, it's a coffee. I know,
Let's see.
probably.
You did
But yes,
well.
I have become lately becoming a fan of coffee as well. Some of the because for travel, actually, we traveled to Kurg last year for some of the work and the variety of coffee. So that's and
Yes.
my daughter
Good.
is a big coffee geek. So that's
So we'll share the episode where we have done a special episode on one of my coffee speakers, Rishi
okay.
Binda. He is
Uh-huh.
a coffee connoisseur. So
Okay.
different blends and brews. So we're having a
Oh,
special
okay.
episode
Okay.
on. We'll share you the link. So you can
Oh,
share it with
sure.
your daughter and have your
Yeah.
daughter subscribe to the coffee corner because there are a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of
Sure. Sure.
interesting topics, conversations. Uh, recently we did with Candice Midday. She's into a fragrance leader, and we did a special episode on how to select your perfume and fragrance.
Okay, okay,
So
nice.
live demo.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely share with my wife also.
Yes, okay. So there is we have got content for every ये what do you
Every
say
genre.
अपना students से लेके
Okay,
all professional entrepreneurs ये startup founders everyone. So
got it.
housewives के लिए भी है, a lot of things.
Okay,
And
okay.
for CSR social impact. So in this 5 years,
Okay,
500 speakers have been featured.
got it.
Not in
Yeah,
India,
I saw that. It's
internationally.
like quite a range actually. I was browsing through the catalog as well. So it's like quite a range. So
Thank
good.
you. Let me wind up. So
Okay,
here's a gift, and
okay.
which will be autographed and sent to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So, as we wrap up this conversation with Lalit, it's clear that his journey is more than just a story of technology. It's about vision, resilience, and staying curious in a world that keeps changing. His ability to straddle leadership, entrepreneurship, and innovation makes him a true emerging professional whose impact reaches far beyond the boardroom. Thank you, Lalit, for sharing your insight, stories, and humor with us, and for reminding us that sometimes embracing randomness is the smartest strategy of all. So, like that, there are 500 coffee speakers sharing their professional, personal insights. Subscribe, get inspired, implement in your lives. As uh, the tagline for coffee is memory maker, brings smiles for lifetime, and change maker. So, if you want to be featured like Lalit, visit our website, the Emerging India Forum, or connect with one of our coffee speakers. Like Lalit has a connection with one of our coffee speakers, Jammunathan Malik. So, continue. So we continue the conversation with another speaker or cup of coffee. So stay tuned. The
Yeah.
conversation brews over coffee. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks, Amir, and thanks for hosting. It's like wonderful set of questions. It helps you reflect
Yes.
back.
Yes.